Loki pukai ke aloha, o me ka pili ka hakai. I laila ui I ke ai, I ka nui loko mai kai. Loki pukai ke aloha, o me ka pili ka hakai. I laila ui I ke ai, I ka nui loko mai kai. Nanea I ka ho'olohe, I ka halulu mai o ke kai. Kanala nui e holu ana, I ka laia o kua honu. Hauole ko'u ho'ohihi, I ka nani a o ha'upu. Mauna ki e luna, hano ke I ke aku. Make wale ka I kena, I ngā manu pi ka kenani. E kaka I e ha'ahe wana, I ka malua o ke kiawe. Huana ia me ke aloha, no ka nani a o ha'upu. Me ke a ka loko mai kai, ka akua o ki pukai. Huana ia me ke aloha, no ka nani a o ha'upu. Me ke a ka loko mai kai, ka akua o ki pukai.
Is the mic on? Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our keynote presentation shortly. Please find your seats at this time.
Intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance have long been a cornerstone of mission execution. As the current risk environment constantly evolves and new threats multiply by the day, it's easy for blind spots in your intelligence data to appear. To address these threats, you need a multi-domain data analytics platform with rapid access to open-source data that has vertical and horizontal scalability. If your organization is facing more questions and not enough answers, let us partner with you to elevate your ISR capabilities. Elevate ISR is changing the way C5 ISR services are acquired, deployed, and fielded globally. Across land, sea, air, cyber, and space domains, our Elevate ISR platform augments government-owned, government-operated, and contractor-owned, contractor-operated traditional assets with standalone products to enable global understanding, tools that use behavior analytics to predict crises, and automation that allows you to do more for your mission. We've gone beyond traditional platforms and sensors and committed to delivering you commercial open-source analytics that augment your existing capabilities due to contested environments, denied airspace, and competing priorities. With non-traditional ISR, SMX fills in the gaps that traditional assets can't reach. SMX combines traditional and non-traditional ISR to deliver a multi-dimensional approach to data collection, processing, and dissemination. Delivered via a single outcome-focused commercial platform designed to engage, transform, and optimize your operations and ensure you gain a competitive edge. No matter the mission, closing intelligence gaps is essential to assuring its success. Elevate ISR integrates industry data and tools, giving you timely products and global alerts, allowing you to immediately take advantage of increased situational awareness. And we ensure intelligence is captured, analyzed, and available to help you be more effective and competitive. Let the speed and power of Elevate ISR focus your mission. To learn more, visit elevateisr.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this afternoon's AFCEA Hawaii and International TechNet Indo-Pacific Keynote presentation. I'm First Lieutenant Jennifer Kim from 690th Cyberspace Operations Squadron, and it's my pleasure to be your MC for this event. As a courtesy to our guests and fellow professionals, we request that you silence all personal communication devices. I'd like to ask our supporting partner from SMX, Mr. Dana Dewey, President of Global Defense, SMX, to please come on stage.
Good afternoon and welcome to this keynote at TechNet Indo-Pacific 2025. I'm Dana Dewey, President of Global Defense at SMX, a proud, enduring supporting partner of this conference. SMX is a leader in next generation mission support and ISR, as you've seen here, and digital transformation here in the Pacific and globally. I'm pleased to welcome you to this session on behalf of AFCEA International and AFCEA Hawaii. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dewey. We are fortunate today to have in the audience tomorrow's leaders and their cadre who are now part of junior ROTC programs from across the great state of Hawaii. We would like to take a moment and recognize the following schools. Please hold your applause until the end. McKinley High School, Farrington High School, Waipahu High School, Kaimuki High School, Kailua High School, Punahou High School, Kaiser High School, Waimea High School, Moanalua High School, Leilehua High School, Mililani High School. JROTC cadets, we please ask that you remain around for pictures and coins after this event. While on the exhibit floor, please stop and pay your respects at the POW MIA table, highlighting the beginning of the POW MIA movement. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a tremendous honor to introduce our next speaker, a key leader within the United States Air Force. Lieutenant General Laura Lenderman serves as the Deputy Commander of Pacific Air Forces, based at Joint Base Pearl Harbor, and as the Deputy Theater Air Component Commander to the Commander, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. PACAF is responsible for Air Force activities across half the globe, supporting 46,000 airmen stationed in locations from Japan and Korea to Hawaii, Alaska, and Guam. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Lieutenant General Laura Lenderman, Deputy Commander of Pacific Air Forces.
Thank you, LT, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you for recognizing our ROTC, junior ROTC cadets. Looking forward to meeting you all right after the remarks here. But first, aloha, everybody. It's so great to see so many friends, and I consider you all family at this point, and really grateful that we're able to be here this week, especially with everything that's going on many, many miles away from us in DC. Just grateful for the opportunity to gather here. And on behalf of my boss, my commander, General Kevin Schneider, and the men and women of the Pacific Air Forces, it is such an honor to be here spending time with all of you. So first and foremost, a sincere mahalo to our leadership here at AFCEA, Lieutenant General Lawrence and Mr. Palmieri, and the entire AFCEA community. Thank you for supporting this event. The impact of TechNet is a true testament to the dedication and hard work of the entire AFCEA community. Year after year, it proves to be a vital forum for defense, government, academia, and industry leaders to converge and tackle the critical challenges facing our nation and this region. Needless to say, I am a big fan of AFCEA. I had the opportunity to engage with chapters across the country, starting during my time at Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, and later at Joint Base San Antonio, and now here in Hawaii. I've seen firsthand how this organization not only looks to advance technology, but also works to help develop the type of leaders that we need today. Whether by promoting STEM education, grants, scholarships, or networking events for students and young professionals, AFCEA is not just funding programs, it's investing in Hawaii's future and building a coalition of thinkers and problem solvers focused on the challenges and opportunities that we face here in the Indo-Pacific region. And that's why I am so grateful for all of us to be here together this week. We have a key opportunity to share insights on our operations and requirements and synchronize our efforts to get after these priorities together. And the timing is perfect and so important that we align our efforts based on clear guidance from this administration and the Department of War, which prioritizes homeland defense and the Indo-Pacific region. Because what happens in the Pacific has a direct impact on homeland defense and the rest of the world for that matter. We wouldn't be here today if that wasn't true. So suffice it to say, the security environment here matters. This region encompasses 38 sovereign nations, spans 16 time zones, and covers half of our planet's surface area, with 50% of the globe's maritime commerce sailing through its waters as I speak. The Indo-Pacific stretches from the Arctic to the Antarctic, and from the shores of India to the beaches of California, or as my boss and many others like to say, from polar bears to penguins and Bollywood to Hollywood. Stability in this region is not just regional security, it's foundational to global security and our homeland defense. But today, we see revisionist autocracies that seek to upend the security, freedom, and prosperity which has defined this region and this part of the planet for the better part of 80 years. However, there's another chapter that we're writing, and we're writing it together. It's one filled with optimism and clarity that strengthens deterrence, inspires progress, and reinforces our shared vision for the future. That chapter is aligned with Admiral Paparo's guidance to generate and exploit the speed, reach, and depth of air power in the Indo-Pacific. And as you might imagine, that speed, reach, and depth is earned, it's not given. Hard work to sharpen readiness and interoperability, push technology to new limits, and lock arms with industry is what this chapter is all about. And it was on full display this summer during Exercise Resolute Force Pacific, or RE4PAC. So I'd like to spend the remainder of my time with you this afternoon describing the primary findings that we gained during RE4PAC, while putting a finer point on the Pacific Air Force's requirements and priorities for this theater. But first, let's set the scene.
What we do matters. What we do today matters, and General Alden, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, often uses, this is a time of consequence. This is the region of consequence. RE4PAC, which is a first of its kind, major theater-focused series of air events that will involve close to 400 airplanes, about 300 of them west of the international date line. We're putting mobility, we're putting fighters, ISR, command and control, all together at once. We're not only showing capability and capacity through everything that we're doing in RE4PAC, we show commitment, and we show commitment to allies and partners in the region. We show commitment to the region. And again, we continue to put ourselves in a position to stay ahead of the security challenges, whatever they may be. I mean, 6,000 miles east to west, 4,000 miles north to south. We're operating out of 50 different locations. Only the U.S. Air Force can do that.
Thank you. So as COMPACAF shared, RE4PAC was a first-in-a-generation series of nested, phased efforts that we executed this summer to test and stress our schemes of maneuver. It encompassed multiple commands and multiple areas of operations. It tested airmen and guardians' ability to conduct sustained, complex military operations involving large numbers of forces in situations where we contested air and space superiority, power projection, and global mobility. We did this shoulder to shoulder with all branches of the Department of War and in close formation with our allies and partners from Australia, Japan, Canada, South Korea, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. But RE4PAC's success wasn't born overnight. It took meticulous planning over 22 months, recognizing that relationships are the bedrock of effective execution. These partnerships weren't transactional. They were forged through collaborative planning, fostering trust, and shared understanding. This meant deep integration and interoperability, ensuring seamless coordination from initial concept to final execution. In total, RE4PAC involved over 400 joint and coalition aircraft, more than 12,000 warriors at more than 50 locations across 3,000 miles. This massive effort required a strategic shift that depended on reliable and seamless connectivity, bolstering PACAF's ability to project power and share information even in contested and disconnected environments. The ability to pull higher headquarters exercises all the way down to the youngest airman and guardian in the field, to have command and control and communication capabilities all the way through those echelons of command, and to focus on operational level campaigning over a long duration was a big lift. But it was successful and well worth the continued investment of the United States Air Force. Over the course of almost 6 weeks, we ensured we could transfer fuel, weapons, equipment, and parts to the right place at the right time to build combat power, proving that we know how to generate air power at the time and place of our choosing, even from incredibly long distances, just like our grandfathers did from Tinian, Saipan, Guam, and Palau over 80 years ago. RE4PAC began with a logistical challenge of epic proportions. The objective of the initial phase was to demonstrate our ability to project power rapidly and explode into theater. Could we move 400 aircraft and 12,000 people to more than 50 locations in a single week? It took a lot of work to make that happen, including establishment of forward logistics nodes, delivery of integrated expeditionary C2 capabilities, validation of airflow, and projection of air power from the mainland to the Indo-Pacific. And it was a monumental effort. But we delivered, and we proved that the US Air Force is the only Air Force on this planet that can project forces at that speed, at that scale, and that range in the time frame that we did. Our success depended on razor-sharp integration and seamless coordination with key partners like Air Mobility Command and United States Transportation Command. This made all the difference in overcoming significant logistical hurdles to set the theater for future agile combat employment operations. But even as we were moving forces into theater, we were already looking ahead at the next phase, keeping in mind the command and control needs of agile combat employment to launch, recover, and maintain aircraft from dispersed forward operating locations in concert with our allies and partners. Which brings us to Phase Bravo. This phase focused on establishing our fighting positions in the first and second island chains in both Japan and the Guam cluster. Moreover, this phase required us to establish operational and tactical command and control nodes throughout the theater. This demanded that we also deploy agile comm packages across the theater, which ensured that the commander of Air Force forces, the Theater Joint Force Air Component Commander, and the Theater Area Air Defense Commander authorities were communicated and executed across 2 Air Expeditionary Task Forces, 5 Air Expeditionary Wings, and an Air Task Force in the first and second island chains. A critical component of this dispersed yet integrated command and control network was our ability to provide the Joint Force with an adaptable and resilient air missile defense capability. So during Phase Bravo, our regional air defense commands in Japan and Guam were able to test, refine, and demonstrate our ability to quickly synthesize sensor data from multiple airborne, space, and sea-based platforms and provide a rapid joint response to enemy threats in virtual, constructed, and live fly environments. So as you can imagine, this phase presented a series of communications and coordination challenges because we weren't operating under normal conditions. We exercised in a contested, denied, degraded, intermittent, and limited bandwidth environment. This challenged us to employ C2 solutions and look at new technologies to help our warfighter. So in terms of C2 solutions, General Schneider is focused on identifying and resourcing the people, pipes, and processes that we need to command and control our forces in the region. This focus drives questions such as, do we have the right people? Do we have enough people? And where do they need to be? Where do the C2 nodes need to be established? What are the pipes, pathways, and infrastructure that we need to be able to command and control across the joint force and with our allies and partners? And in terms of processes, what is the right delegation of authorities? What are those things that allow us to be resilient and still execute C2, especially when we're cut off? These are the questions that we asked during RE4PAC, and we continue to focus on today. We faced several more questions after establishing these fighting positions in the first and second island chain. How could we now protect these nodes? How could we sustain them? How could we employ them to deliver effects, not once, but over and over again? And this led us to the third phase. This phase gave us the opportunity to answer these questions and to test our ability to not only deliver effects like maritime strike operations, but also regroup, redeploy, and sustain our operations across this theater. So during our maritime strike demonstrations, in particular, we demonstrated our ability to deliver precision strikes at great distance, and we also had the chance to employ new technologies. In one instance, we were able to collect data on targets from operators in forward locations and send it back to our Air Operations Center using a commercial off-the-shelf technology that masks the sender and the recipient locations and identities. Then at the AOC, we integrated AI tools into targeting cells, which sifted through massive amounts of data quickly, picking out the right targets. And once the target was presented and validated by the operators, they sent the information to our airborne aircraft, enabling the long-range strike. The validation of this kill chain methodology and the tools associated with it was one of the highlights of this exercise. In terms of our sustainment operations, we relied heavily on inter- and intra-theater airlift to resupply and reset air power across the region. But we also had the opportunity to conduct more experiments by taking promising new technologies and putting them through realistic operational scenarios. So one of the most ambitious experiments was operationalizing the autonomous Cessna 208 for inter-theater airlift. To accomplish this feat, the team leveraged strong partnerships with the Air Force Research Laboratory and AFWorks, and in less than 18 months, we went from an initial concept to operational testing. The C-208 deployed from mainland to Oahu and flew sorties in and around the Hawaiian Islands, validating our point-to-point logistics and rapid resupply for a hub-and-spoke model. And when I say flew, I mean it flew remotely. While the aircraft was flying around Hawaii, it was monitored by a safety pilot, but it was controlled thousands of miles away in Guam. And this demonstrated the impact of autonomous systems to revolutionize our logistics and support operations here in the Pacific. Beyond experimenting with autonomous systems, though, we also learned how remarkably data-heavy command and control of logistics at this speed and scale is. At the operational level, we must have access to a more holistic logistics picture. It must be populated with near real-time precision data in order to understand what forces are available so we can make more informed risk decisions at critical points. And the ability to make these informed decisions was even more critical during the final phase of RE4PAC, which brought it all back together stateside. The grand finale was Bamboo Eagle, where we put everything that we learned to the test in the midst of real-world environmental challenges, including 3 named storms, an earthquake, a volcano, a tsunami, and a wildfire. This was not an EP sim, this was real world. This phase focused on the air tasking order and the joint tasking order integration and joint integrated all-domain power pulses. This portion, executed from dispersed locations, was designed to exercise high-end readiness and combine joint operations against a peer adversary in a highly contested environment. Real-world operations from right here at Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam and Camp Smith were linked with the Distributed Mission Operations Center at Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico, while the 505th Command and Control Wing at Hurlburt Field generated a synthetic air expeditionary task force and a theater-wide constructive air picture. Within the DMOX battle space, sailors from the 3rd Fleet and Marines from Camp Pendleton, Yuma, and Hawaii integrated agile expeditionary operations. Meanwhile, soldiers from the 94th Army Air and Missile Defense Command here in Oahu contributed air defense assets, further enhancing our joint integration. This joint force, together with our partners from the UK and Australia, integrated distributed, tactical, and operational C2 forces, connecting US and coalition partners in real and simulated environments in a combat-realistic Indo-Pacific scenario. The lessons learned from this phase highlighted how integrating tactical and operational command and control across live, virtual, and constructive environments necessitates trust. And this is why building cohesion among joint and allied forces through realistic training is so important. This effort also highlighted how practicing mission command in complex scenarios strengthens the joint force, improves decision-making agility, and enhances readiness for future conflicts, particularly in a contested environment. So by the end of REFORPAC, we had executed more than 4,000 sorties, we moved 14,000 tons of cargo, and we conducted over 40 airdrops. In addition, we integrated cutting-edge technologies through a robust experimentation campaign. Ultimately, we validated operational concepts, we strengthened our partnerships, and most importantly, we identified the capabilities that we need to win in this theater. First, we need to push hard on artificial intelligence, autonomy, and machine learning. In the words of Admiral Paparo, we need robust, ethical AI systems that enhance decision-making while fiercely preserving human oversight of critical operations. We need AI technology to ensure faster, more resilient logistical solutions with the ability to predict where supplies will be needed before the frontline unit requests them. We also need autonomy to assist our most dangerous missions. And we need advanced threat detection and the ability to rapidly sort through volumes of aggregated data. On top of that, any AI system must absolutely be interoperable with our coalition teammates. Because with each layer, the amount of data grows, and the information available becomes almost overwhelming. Machine-to-machine data transfer and AI/ML technologies hold our solution in this space. Secondly, we must continue to improve our command and control capabilities. How can we use technology to fuse common operating and common intel pictures to enable faster, more informed decision-making across the globe? How do we move beyond data generation and fusion at the tactical level so that we can rapidly assess a combined, integrated picture at the operational level with our joint and combined allies and partners? To make this possible, we need your solutions. We need your solutions for advanced data analytics, secure communication networks, and resilient communication systems, which must enable distributed C2 architecture that can maintain operational effectiveness even when traditional command centers are compromised. Interoperability and capacity to integrate are key, especially as we seek to capitalize on solutions that we already have available in the Department of War. By leveraging these capabilities that have already been proven effective, we create a window of opportunity to adapt and scale these existing technologies and enhance them with your solutions. In addition, we'll continue to focus on open system architectures and advocate for capabilities that work seamlessly across our joint service and allies and partners. Third, in order to truly push technology to the limit, we must also take a big league swing at networking and cybersecurity. Resilient networks that can communicate securely in expeditionary environments and survive relentless attacks are not an ethereal, objective. They are threshold capability requirements. This is about not just defending against attacks, it's about ensuring that our systems can continue to function after they are attacked. It's about maintaining operational tempo in the face of these persistent threats. This requires proactive threat detection, robust security protocols, and redundant systems. We're particularly interested in capabilities that can establish zero-trust architecture and provide real-time insights into cyber terrain of our systems, including their vulnerabilities. And cybersecurity needs to be baked in from the beginning. Enable us to sense threats and patch vulnerabilities quickly. And we need solutions that protect critical enablers, such as fuel systems, from cyber attacks. Again, this isn't something for 2030, this is something we need today. So to our industry partners here in Hawaii, and to those on the mainland and around the world, we are asking a lot of you. We need your help to pull every lever to make the lab to warfighter timeline combat relevant. Looking out at this crowd, we ask for you to take action and help us get capabilities into the hands of warfighters as fast as our grandmothers and grandfathers did 80 years ago. This is our call to action for all of us. Those of us in uniform must work closer than ever with our industry partners to rapidly field the capabilities that we need to win. This is what our grandparents did during World War II, and we need to do the same for this generation while we have the watch. Now's not the time to pull punches. It's the time to work together to generate and exploit the speed, reach, and depth of air power in the Indo-Pacific. Mr. Palmieri, the AFCEA community, thank you for bringing us all together this week. On behalf of General Schneider and all like-minded defenders of this region of greatest consequence for our generation, thank you for your dedication and support. May God bless all of you, your families, and the men and women living and working and supporting this theater. Thank you all.
General Lenderman, thank you so much for your time today and your very insightful remarks. On behalf of AFCEA International, as well as AFCEA Hawaii, and everybody who's here today, as well as out in YouTube land. On behalf of your time being here, we're going to make a donation to the Friends of Windward Wounded Warrior, a very good cause to take care of our veterans out here. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Thunder. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Lieutenant General Lenderman, thank you for the amazing presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to mention a few admin remarks before we go. At 2 p.m., Marine Forces Pacific will be hosting a topic to some of you, Accelerating Innovation with Small Business in room 307AB. Please visit the Emerging Leader panel at 2:15 here in Ballroom 3, where the topic, Assured Command and Control in the Indo-Pacific, Winning in the DDIL Environments, will be discussed. For those needing parking validation, Tricentis is providing it until 4 p.m. at booth 1237 on the exhibit floor. Thank you, Tricentis. At 3:30 p.m., there will be an AFCEA Emerging Leader reception on the exhibit floor, and try your hand at flying a drone upstairs in room 306AB with students from Kaimuki Middle School, Eva Mackay, and Campbell High. Lastly, JROTC students, we please ask that you now move expeditiously to the right of the stage for pictures and coins. Thank you for attending.
At night.